Shalom, family. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you from Yahuwah, our Father, and Yahusha, the Mashayah. You know, the one that carries the burden of Yah, his voice, our high priest, soon coming king. Hear, O Yesharu, Yahuwah, our mighty one, he is one. This is Brother David coming to you again to bring you the gathering of the stranger and the eunuch. Look at the graphic that I chose. I'm showing you the clock that is in the sky. The time has come for this great gathering that you've been hearing about for thousands of years. There shall be others gathered unto us. Let's begin. Isaiah chapter 56, verses 1 to 3. Verse 1. Thus saith Yahuwah. Let's stop. We have identified the speaker. It is not man. It is the creator of all things, the great one that is seated upon the throne. Listen to what he's going to say. Keep ye judgment and do justice. You cannot have justice unless you carry out judgment. But we have a little problem with a lot of the judgments that are in the book, right? Can you stone one of our brothers and one of our sisters because they have committed adultery? No, you can't do that in the lands of your captivity. You will be in jail. But once you get back into the kingdom, all of these laws will be in force. Why, Brother David? Because then we'll have our own government according to the law. For my salvation is near to come. See what I'm saying? It's coming soon. Whose salvation? Not Mr. White's salvation. Yahuwah's salvation. What is Yahuwah's salvation? The law, statutes, judgments, and commandments. If you do them, you will live. What is the white man's salvation? Confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, and thou shalt be saved. That was added in your book, by the way. Because if you read from verse 1 in Romans chapter 10, verse 9, if you go back to verse 1, you will find that he says you are to hear these laws and do them. And Mr. White added, confessing Jesus Christ as Lord. There is no salvation in Jesus. Your salvation is in Yahuwah and keeping his commandments. And my righteousness is to be revealed. It's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth, especially with those who are still in the church that deny the law. Yeah. Because once he reveals that the only way that you will be ushered into his kingdom is if you have kept his ways, there's going to be a great fear that's going to overcome every last one who is in that wilderness. Verse 2. Blessed is the man that doeth this. Now you're going to see what a blessed man looks like. And the son of man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it. The Sabbath. The first thing that he mentions is his Sabbaths. Where are they? They're in the sky. Yahuwah's Sabbath. If you say that Yah's Sabbath is on a piece of paper, a calendar created by Mr. White, the Europeans, the Gentiles, is Yah's Sabbath, you have polluted it. And keepeth his hand from doing any evil. Evil is with the intent to do harm. If you set out with the mind set to hurt someone, to destroy someone, even if you're putting it on the comment board, you're disqualified here. Verse 3. Neither let the son of the stranger that have joined himself to Yahuwah speak, saying, Yahuwah have utterly separated me from his people. Why is the stranger saying this? Because he read the book. He's studying it. And he found that the only people who are under this contract are the children of Yisrael. He's not included. What is he not included in? He's not included in the promises. They're only for the children of Yisrael. So he's saying to himself, you've separated me from this people. I'm not a part of this. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. And he is. Because his testicles were cut off. He can no longer produce. He can't even come before Yahuwah. And if he's one of the children of Yisrael, the Father is saying, you can still return. You and the stranger can come in. Stop making excuses of why you don't serve me, why you don't keep my Sabbaths, why you don't keep my covenant. Verse 4. For thus saith Yahuwah. Listen to what he's going to say unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths. Whose Sabbaths is he talking about? The popes? Constantine the Great? The church's Sabbaths? Or Yah's Sabbaths? His Sabbaths are in the sky for the whole world to see. Is it through the dark moon? No. Is it through the full moon? No. And choose the things that please me. Well, not eating unclean foods please him. A lot of people are going to be disqualified because they don't want to turn down the unclean foods and take hold of my covenant. There we go again. My covenant, not the Europeans or the Gentiles' covenant. Verse 5. Even unto them will I give in mine house, see, my house, not the Vatican. His house is in the promised land. It is desolate at this moment. And within my walls. Is it the Vatican? No. His walls are in the promised land. They have all been torn down at this moment. We shall return and rebuild these waste cities. A place and a name better than of sons and of daughters. Why is he going to give them a name better than of sons and daughters? Because this eunuch is not going to play with Yah's commands or his Sabbaths. He's going to hold to his covenant. He's going to love Yah's name. Yahuwah has given him a chance to enter into the kingdom. Remember, Once we go in, everyone who will be left on the outside would be the dogs, the sorcerers, the whoremongers. There will be chaos. But this eunuch is going to keep these commandments better than most of the children of Yasharal. Stop making excuses and give your heart, mind, and soul to him. I will give them an everlasting name, and no one can take it away. Verse 6. And also the sons of the stranger that joined themselves to Yahuwah to serve him and to love the name of Yahuwah, to be his servants. Everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it and taketh hold of my covenant. Listen to me. The stranger, he's going to keep these commandments better than most of you. He's not going to make any excuses about the Sabbaths or the feast days. He shall be one with Yahuwah and his days, unlike most of our people. Stiff neck, unmovable, always making excuses why they can't do this or that. As I said before, there is no faith amongst the children of Yasharal today. Now listen to this. They came to serve Yahuwah. They came to be his servants. They have kept the Sabbaths from polluting it. They took hold of his covenant. Verse 7. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer, my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar. For mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people. Do you know, in the church, we read this and we said, this house of prayer that he's going to set up in the kingdom is going to be for all of us. But it's not. How many of you have reading comprehension? There's prerequisites. 1, you have to keep his Sabbaths. Is it on Saturday on the Gregorian calendar? No. Is it on Sunday on the Gregorian calendar? No. Can you find his Sabbath through the dark moon? No. Can you find his Sabbaths through the full moon? The answer is no. So this house of prayer for all people are only for those who have kept his Sabbaths that are in the sky, for the whole world to see, the ones that all are denying. Here's the next prerequisite. He said you have to hold to his covenant. Well, what if you're holding to Mr. White's covenant? That Jesus abolished the law in their doctrinal principles. You don't have to keep them anymore. You can eat pork, shellfish. You can, do anything, really. Because once saved, always saved. Foolishness. If you believe that you don't have to keep his commandments, the covenant that he struck with the children of Yasharal, you're not included in this house of prayer for all people. What is next? You have to love his name. Is it Jehovah? Is it Adonai? Is it the Lord? Is it Christ? Is it Jesus? Well, every name that I have just stated to you, according to the Europeans in their books, are not sacred at all. They took out the name that is above all names because they said it was too sacred for you to utter. Who said that? The Jews. Who taught the Europeans that? The Jews. So every name that they have provided for you in that book is not sacred at all. So if you're calling on any of those names, you're excluded from this house of prayer for all people. Your name is not on the list. Verse 8. Yahuwah, mighty Yah, which gathereth the outcasts of Yasharel, says. Remember who the speaker is. The master of the universe. The creator of all things. The great one who is seated upon the throne. Yet will I gather others to him. Who is this him? Him is a pronoun, right? It describes a person, place, or thing. So who is the him? Go back. Yasharel. So the eunuch and the stranger are going to be gathered unto the mighty men of Yasharel. He's not going to gather the eunuch and the stranger unto our women. Our women are not the general head. Our women are under authority themselves. The authority is the mighty men of Yasharel. So these strangers and the eunuch are going to be gathered unto the mighty men of Yasharel, who fit all of the criteria. They kept his Sabbaths. They kept his feast days. They love his name and they only call upon his name. They even calling themselves after his name. And they hold to his covenant. Everything that they learn in that covenant, they have applied it to themselves. Besides those that are gathered unto him. This is going to be a great yet terrible day for some. But for those who have overcome, look at the bounty that the Father has provided for you. Beyond anything that you could have ever imagined when it comes to his blessings. Listen to me. Why is he going to gather the eunuch and the stranger unto the mighty men of Yasharel? Very simple answer. Who was at the mount? Who took the covenant with their lips? Who was sprinkled with blood? Who transgressed the law and suffered the consequences for their actions for thousands of years? Who are still in the lands of their captivity today? Who are the ones who have overcome all of those who have returned to Yahuwah and kept his commandments. The only way that the stranger and the eunuch can get into the land is that they have to come under the covenant that the children of Yisrael hold. Are you with me? No one else has the rights to the promises. Only the children of Yisrael. Seed, bloodline. Has nothing to do with whether you're black. It's seed. That you came down through the generations. One of the righteous ones who would arise in these last days. The remnant that this book is speaking of. Everyone has to be gathered unto you. It's a part of your inheritance, you know that? Hey, check this out. Stranger and the eunuch. I don't believe it's going to be the white man. Do you? Let me tell you why. In order for him to qualify, he has to recognize you. He has to recognize you as Yahuwah's people, his children. Remember what it said before? That he has to love the name of Yahuwah to be Yahuwah's servant. The only way that you can serve the stranger, the eunuch, the only way that they can serve Yahuwah is by serving his mighty men. They will have to be his servants. Hey, the ones that are gathered unto him, the strangers, shall be his possession. Speaking of the stranger only now. Tell me something. Do you think the white man is going to be our possession? Or agree to that? Think about it. Can you see him bowing down before you, kissing your feet, and proclaiming that you are the children of Yisrael, the chosen ones of Yah, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that was spoken of in this book, that has went through horrible, wicked, and evil captivities in which they perpetrated on us for 400 years? Can you see them bowing down to you? Well, listen to what the Father says. Everyone who does not bow down to you and serve you in that day, the whole nation will be destroyed. So you're going to have to serve us anyway, whether you like it or not. But the stranger, he's the one who's going to keep the Father's ways. Yeah. He loves Yahuwah's name. He's going to be willing to be your servant. He's going to be willing to do anything you say. Because if he loves Yahuwah, he also will love his people. Leviticus chapter 25, verses 45 to 46. Check this out. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them ye shall buy. You can purchase them. And of their families that are with you, remember, they were given to you as a possession, which they begot in your land, and they shall be your possession. If you're one of the strangers today and you're hearing this message and this bothers you in any way, you're not qualified. Keep it moving. 46. And ye shall take them as an inheritance. You're going to inherit them for all of your pain, for all of your suffering, from countless generations, down through thousands of years. They shall be your inheritance, even for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. So if you were thinking in your mind, that was the Old Testament, that was the Old Covenant, that was before, this is new now, everyone's going into the promised land, you are wrong. This is forever. Does forever mean forever? Yes, it does. But over your brethren, the children of Yasharal, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor, hard labor. You can't do that to your brother. He's an heir to the kingdom. He's under covenant. He's a mighty man. He may have fallen on hard times. He had to pawn his things to you, give himself to you for labor. You can't have him out there in the sun, breaking down walls and doing hard labor. What would you do with him? You will put him as the foreman over all of the strangers who work for you. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 23. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts. In those days, what days? We're in the kingdom now. It shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt, the garment of him that is a Jew. No, that word is not Jew. It is Yahudah. Saying, we will go with you. Hold it 1 second. All of us are in the kingdom at this time, right? You have the northern kingdom and all the tribes have returned. And you have the southern kingdom, which is Yahudah, Benjamin, Levi. You know, Levi is with everyone, every tribe. Why are they only going to come to Yahudah? What do you think the temple's going to be? It's going to be in the south, in the southern kingdom, under the tribe of Yahudah. Where will our king reign? In the south, in the southern kingdom, under Yahudah, where the temple shall be rebuilt. Yes. Now listen what they're going to say. For we have heard that God is with you. No, we know that God, in most instances, some instances it does not mean that, but in this instance, if you look it up, you'll find that the word is alayam. Who are the alayam? The watchers. You call them angels. They are the mighty ones of Yahuwah that were sent here to serve you. Listen what they heard. We heard that the alayam is with you to protect you. You didn't know that was going to happen in this day? Michael, Mayakael, shall stand up, that great prince for the children of Yisrael, to fight on our behalf. There shall be a cloud in the sky by day. In that cloud is the glory of Yahuwah for protection, as the book says. The Yalayam will be there to protect us. The whole world is going to know that they are with us. And the ones who want to come in, these 10 men that's going to take hold of out of all languages of the nations, that'll take hold of the garments of that one that is from the tribe of Yahudah, they will know that the Yalayam shall be in the promised land to protect us. They can't get in unless you bring them in. Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, what day is this? That great yet terrible day? We're going to be in the wilderness. 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread. We will buy our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Why do they need the name? The name of a righteous man. It's in the books. Did you know that? You know that book of life? Yeah. We need your name. To do what? To take away our reproach. Definition, reproach. Look on the bottom there. Just deal with the ones in red. Rebuke. Disapproval. Blame. Disgrace. Scorn. Why are these women disapproved of? They committed whoredom in the lands of their captivity. They have 2, maybe 6 baby daddies. Countless abortions. Listen to what they said. I don't need a man except to come and pleasure me. That's why they're having all these abortions or all of these baby daddies. Some of them have turned to a letter. You know, under the Rainbow Coalition, they have a whole bunch of letters. And the first one is L. L stands for lesbian. They were the catalyst for this, you know. They started this movement, this Rainbow Coalition of wickedness. How many of you ladies are standing out there for women's rights in this country or any place around the world? If you do, you're down with this wickedness. Because women's rights means the right to get abortions, to be gay, to get pills so that you don't get pregnant, that you may continue your whoredom. You, as a righteous woman, cannot be a part of the things that they have created here in the lands of your captivity. Then you were a bunch of witches. Mean real witches, you know, witchcraft, doing all kinds of voodoo. You say, you're going to destroy these people. You know who you are. You were married. You are the one who walked away from your marriage. You are the one who initiated the divorce. Who cares what the cause is? Because once you walk away from your husband, you cannot marry again, nor have another man, unless he's dead or he gave you a letter of divorce. So now you're the one who initiated the divorce procedure because you're in the lands of your captivity. And, they give you the right to divorce your husband and take away his stuff. Then you go get you another man and put him in your bed to die. You have caused him and every other man after him to commit adultery. You were the catalyst for this. Then you put on these eyelashes. In Proverbs it speaks about the woman with the batting of the eye. Well, the ladies have tripled down on it today. They got eyelashes that are about 6 feet long, switching as they go. They put this fake hair in their heads, this weave and these braids, and it pulled all their hair out. They got the curse of baldness. Now they're wearing a wig. They got these long fingernails. They are claws. And they put on these sexy, tight clothes. They have all types of body enhancements. They enhance their booties. They enhance their lips. They enhance their breasts. And then they are the black man's, in this country, primary enemy. Now we're in the wilderness. And these same women are going to come to the men who have overcome. They've kept the Father's Sabbaths. His Sabbaths. The ones in the sky. Chose the right starting point. Yeah. They hold to the Master's covenant. Yes, they have. They only call upon the name of Yahuwah. They name their children and themselves after the name of Yahuwah. So look what they said. We will eat our own bread. We'll wear our own apparel. Just let us be called by your name to take away our shame. Did you hear any repentance here? They're not keeping the Sabbaths. They're not keeping the feast days. They don't hold to the covenant. They're eating ribs and ham sandwiches. Smothered pork chops. Yeah. They're calling on Jesus and every other name that they can think of. Are you going to take them in, righteous men? I tell you the truth. The answer is no. They're going to be left right there in the wilderness where they belong, with the dogs and the sorcerers and the whoremongers. They're a type of people. Are any of you ladies angry? If you are, it's because some of these things must have applied to you. Now, if you're looking to cleanse yourself, go through that list one by one. Extract it from your life. Clean out that closet. have some skeletons in that closet, right? Hey, some of you have live bodies in the closet. You know, you got some man in your house, in your bed, pleasuring you. You've already walked away from your first husband. And now here you have another husband. You're going to have to cleanse yourself, because you will be rejected. I guarantee you that. Then you have to learn how to carry yourself. Listen to me. That stranger, he's going to make you look stupid. Because the stranger is our possession. He will jump as soon as we say something, because he knows who we are. You, on the other hand, you don't want to know who this mighty man is, because you want his position, and you can't have it because of your gender. You don't have countless generations in your loins. So therefore, you cannot serve Yahuwah like your husband can. Who do you serve? Your husband. You are his possession. And to serve your husband is to serve Yahuwah. Ephesians tells you that. Galatians tells you that. The whole book tells you that. Just like the stranger, who is our possession. But the stranger's not going to grumble at his position. He'll be happy. He'll be proud to serve us with all his heart, mind, and soul. Because that is the position that the Most High has given to him. And he will follow instructions, unlike the daughters of Zion, who have the Eve mentality. You know, the Eve mentality, where she thought that she was going to be even like the Mighty One, like Yahuwah. That means that she would be above her husband. That was appealing to her. How can such a thing be appealing to you when you know that your position is to serve this man? You were given to him as a helper, but you didn't want that. You want to be above him. And you cannot. Brothers, in this day, if you make it, which most of you will not, because of your excuses and your stiff-necked ways, where you won't turn back to Yahuwah and surrender all to him. In that day, you're going to miss this, because you'll probably be out there in the wilderness with the dogs and the sorcerers and the whoremongers also, because you didn't return to him. Now, if this bothers anyone, it means your heart is not right. Get right. Get ready, for this gathering is soon to come. Shalom.